Hey guys, I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A on the channel where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline and answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do by now. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel. But let's get right into this. Here we go. So if there's any questions that you have, be sure to leave them down below. But the first one of today from Stan Lugten, if that's how you pronounce your name, sorry bro. But you say, hey BOA, love your videos. My question is, what are those elemental zombies in Voyage of Despair? So the proper name for these are the catalyst zombies. There are 4 different types, which are fire, water, poison and lightning. And like you said, we see them on not only Voyage of Despair, but also in 9 and Dead of the Night. These catalyst zombies are part of our new storyline, and they're basically just elemental zombies. Just like in the Chaos storyline, we have different types of zombies. We have the boss rounds and stuff like that. These are just another type of zombie, except they have elemental powers. The fire zombie is actually very similar to the napalm zombie in Shangri-La. They move really slow, but will explode when they're killed or when you get too close to them. The water zombie, as I'm sure you would have noticed, don't actually attack you. They're not aggressive. However, what they do is buff regular zombies. They make normal zombies more powerful. I believe the longer you do leave them in the map, they eventually get more aggressive, but I'm not sure. And then we also have the poison zombies, which, well, as the name says, if you get too close to them or they attack you, you're going to get poisoned. And then finally, there's the lightning zombies, which if you're in their line of sight, they're going to scream, which will blind you and deafen you. Again, similar to the Shrieker zombies in Shangri-La. So those are the 4 catalysts that we have in Voyage, 9 and Dead of the Night. The next question of today from William Piper said, could you explain the story behind the time bomb from Buried? Now, I attempted to answer this question a very long time ago, and I thought since many of you might not have watched that video, I'll bring it up again, because a lot of people always ask me, can you tell me the story of this weapon or a different weapon, like the time bomb or the paralyzer, along with other wonder weapons. And the reason I haven't done videos on these, because, by the way, if you don't know, I have a whole series called The Story Of on not only weapons, but also characters in our zombie storyline. I've got 2 different separate playlists, one for the weapons and one for the characters. And for the characters, by the way, I've done over 30 different separate videos on pretty much all of the characters that we know story about, although some of them do need updating since they were made before we had the Canorium, and we've gained a lot more interesting and correct information since then. And for the weapons, I created 4 videos, one for the ray gun, one for the monkey bomb, one for the pack-a-punch, and one for the baby maker. There are plenty more weapons that we have. Some of them I haven't made videos on just because they are so simple. For example, the Blundergat was just a weapon that the warden had. There's no backstory to it really. However, I'm sure there is an interesting backstory to the paralyzer and the time bomb. However, we don't know anything about it, so I can't make videos on them. We've never actually been told who made these weapons. We can always speculate. I mean, Buried, we know, is an old western town, so you would think it comes from that era, but that still doesn't tell us who made it. We literally have no information on who made these weapons. So honestly, I can't say. I wish I could. Hopefully we'll get information in the future, but yeah, that's all we have. The next question from Josh says, what will happen to the children if we kill Monty? What even was the point of the children? Why did Monty want them? And what was he going to use them for once he got rid of Primus? So this is a good question, or at least I thought it was, until I actually thought, well, Gorod Kurovi hasn't happened yet. Blood of the Dead we know takes place between Zetsubo no Shima and Gorod Kurovi, right at the end of Zet. Just as we collect Takio's soul inside of the summoning key, our characters take a quick journey to Alcatraz, or at least they should have done, to collect the transit crew's blood vials, and then they would have returned to Zetsubo no Shima and then gone off to Gorod Kurovi to collect Nikolai's soul. But of course, they got trapped in Blood of the Dead, in which they managed to break the cycle, which means that Gorod Kurovi doesn't happen. And so not only does that mean that Nikolai's soul doesn't get collected inside of the summoning key, but that also means that Nikolai, Takio or Dempsey, their souls don't get sent to Dr. Monty to be turned into children in the house. Because remember, at the end of the Gorod Kurovi Easter egg, in the ending cutscene, after Richtofen collects the final soul of Nikolai's inside of the summoning key, and he now has all 4 of Nikolai, Takeo, Dempsey, and the Shadow Man's soul inside of the summoning key. He then lifts it into the air and teleports the souls to Dr. Monty to the house, where he turns them into children.
It is done. The souls have been collected, Maxis. We will see you soon.
But of course, Garrod Kurovi doesn't happen. It hasn't happened, which means that Nikolai, Takeo, or Dempsey are not children in the house. You may be asking Eli, well, where is Richtofen? We know that his soul got collected a lot earlier between Origins and the Giant from Dimension 2210. So at this point of Blood of the Dead and Classified, Samantha and Eddie are in the house. However, the other children, Nikolai, Takeo, and Dempsey, aren't, and I doubt they will be, since Garrod Kurovi isn't going to happen now. There is no reason it will do. The cycle is broken. We know the Primus crew are now on a different mission to kill Dr. Monty. And this is something I really forgot about up until now. Takeo, Dempsey, and the Shadow Man's soul are still trapped inside of the summoning key, as of right now, in Blood of the Dead / Classified. Nikolai, his Ultimus version, is still alive in Garrod Kurovi. Also, what's gonna happen to the souls of Takeo and Dempsey that are trapped inside of the key? Are we going to use them for something in the future? Are they gonna help us take down Monty? It's actually really interesting. And as you say in this question, well, what's gonna happen to the children? What's gonna happen to Samantha and Eddie if we kill Monty? Are they just going to be allowed to live on? Will Richtofen and Maxis adopt them? I mean, I don't know. It's really quite odd now that everything's changed. Honestly, I wish we could get more of the Ether story, along with the Chaos storyline as well, but I really just want to see what's going to happen in the future with our Primus crew, the children, Monty, and everything that's going on. So yeah, that's really interesting. You also said in this question, what was the point of the children? Why did Dr. Monty want them in the first place? That we don't really have an answer to. In the usual cycle, when it was continuing, what was Monty going to use the children for? Why did he even want them in the first place? Was that just a ploy? A trick? Was he just using them to get Primus to continue the cycle? We don't really know what happened after Revelations with the children, because Revelations was the end of the cycle, and then it would start over again, or the loop would continue, and we'd go back to the very beginning during the Great War, so we'd never find out what would happen to the children in the house. However, like I said, that doesn't matter now, because since the cycle's broken, the only children there are Eddie and Samantha. The others aren't. The next question from the Great Wolf Gaming says, hey BOA, I have a question. If Dr. Monty has been helping the Primus and Ultimus crew by sending them power-ups, then did Dr. Monty also help others, such as the Transit crew, the people in Shadows of Evil, the Marines, etc.? Please answer, keep up the good work. So yes, I would think so. All of the characters that we played as that weren't the Primus or Ultimus crew, like you said, the Shadows of Evil crew, the Call of the Dead crew, the Marines in Nakdir and Toten and Verrucht, all of these other characters that we've been playing as that have also been able to get power-ups, did Dr. Monty give them to them? And I would think, yes, this isn't confirmed, we haven't been told it, but we know that all of the maps in Zombies from World at War 2 BO4 or BO3, where the cycle continued, all of these maps were integral to the loop continuing. Without Nakdir and Toten, there'd be no outbreak on the airfield. Without the Call of the Dead crew, Richtofen wouldn't have been able to get the Golden Rod, which means Moon wouldn't have happened, and all of the maps after that. Without Shadows of Evil, Richtofen wouldn't have been able to get the Summoning Key. So all of these maps that we play as other characters are important. They needed to happen in order for other maps to happen with our Primus and Ultimus crew, and so you will think Dr. Monty, wanting to keep the loop going, he needs to help these other characters out in order for that to happen. If he doesn't, then the loop doesn't continue. His goal doesn't happen. So I would say yes, Dr. Monty also helps out other characters as well, because it's a part of the cycle. Plants32 says, hey BOA, is there just one Richtofen? And I think we can say no. Or I don't think this is a question that I can really answer, because, well, we've already seen in Classified there's more than one Richtofen. There's the Primus and the Ultimus one, but then we just saw one recently die in Blood of the Dead, yet he comes back in Classified, so there's clearly not just 1. It's weird, I don't know how many there are, but there's the simple answer. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do, drop a like rating. Only if you want to though, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.